Happy February 26th. JLD here, and welcome to Strategy Today. In this show, we talk about Michael Saylor considering a second job. We talk about the power of network effects. We talk about the MNAV, what exactly it means, and how we should be thinking about it. We also talk about zooming out a little bit and taking a deep breath. And then, of course, Michael Saylor is going to be hitting us with rule number 11 of Bitcoin. This video is not financial advice, but please do comment below. We've been having some amazing comments in the comment section, some great conversations, questions. Let me know where you're watching from, what you're thinking, and let's dive on in. All right, and today's post is from Michael Saylor himself saying that he is considering a second job to acquire more Bitcoin. And of course, he posted one of him working at a Bitcoin King, maybe we'll call it Bitcoin King. Yep, that makes a little bit of sense. I will say, I just love the fact that we have this person as our leader. He's been through it. He was buying at 20,000 back in 2020, all the way up to 69,000. He was buying Bitcoin. He rode that all the way down to 16,000. Imagine that. Michael Saylor was buying Bitcoin from $69,000 of Bitcoin down to 16,000 Bitcoin. And now he's been buying up from 16,000 Bitcoin to 109 Bitcoin. So this pullback to 88,000 to 86,000 to wherever it goes down to, who knows where this is going to stop, this drawback, but it will eventually stop, obviously. He's fine with it. He's sitting here saying, hey, I'm sitting here able to make a joke, to have some fun, to just let people know to relax, because he's been through this before. I've been through this before. A lot of people that are watching this right now have been through something similar to this before. These drawbacks are part of what Bitcoin does and will continue to do, likely for all time. And this is the stock that Michael Saylor designed. Volatility is vitality. It is a feature, not a bug. This is what was designed with MSTR 5 years ago, and it's playing out, period. Chris shares, Saylor has now bought Bitcoin in 14 of the last 15 weeks, excluding blackout periods, with a total of 499,000 Bitcoin. Strategy is now 49.9% of the way to one Nakamoto, which is, of course, 1 million Bitcoin. For every $1,000 that Bitcoin increases, Strategy's balance sheet increases by $499 million. So here's the graphic. Weeks purchased, 14 out of 15. Total Bitcoin, 499, percentage of the way to one Nakamoto. And what happens every time Bitcoin has a $1,000 gain? Just 1,000. $499 million increase. Wow. Insanity. Michael Saylor just wants us to know that this is the best advice, which Eric Trump says is buy the dips. And Marcos wants to confirm by saying, yes, it has always been the best strategy. So a lot of good stuff going on here for sure. Adam shares MSTR is at a 1.7 MNAV. You're telling me that the company that has hoarded the biggest pile of the most pristine capital ever and can get billions for nearly free to continue to accumulate more is valued at 1.7 multiple of its net assets. This is insanely undervalued. Buy opportunity of the century right here. The last time MSTR was this price, it had half as much Bitcoin. And by the way, I remember that. MSTR was at this price about $250, and it had like 250,000 Bitcoin. It's insane. So, I mean, this is absolutely insane. When the spring releases, this thing is going to melt faces. And Adam, if you're listening, if you're watching, I bought yesterday, brother. I did. $248. Let's go. Jeff says 60% of the world's population owns a smartphone. 1% of the world owns Bitcoin. Network effects occur over time, not overnight. Zoom out. The smartest are developing the Bitcoin network every day, identifying pools of fiat to convert as fast as humanly possible. So Jeff is making things happen on his end as well. A post from BitStrategy. Sure, you're noticing the extreme volatility in the stock exactly like we planned. This volatility attracts volume. It's why we're one of the most traded stocks in the world. We sell securities to capture the value of this volatility and volume and use the proceeds to accrete value with Bitcoin arbitrage. Boom. British Hodl. I follow this guy, one of the 20 people that I follow. Really enjoy his stuff. I have backed up the proverbial truck on Bitcoin and MSTR and have tapped all potential sources of liquidity and leverage available right now. Now we wait Patience is a virtue, my friends. Adam says, people struggling with MSTR's premium over its Bitcoin holdings fail to grasp how markets price dominance and leverage. Amazon wasn't worth just its warehouses. Tesla wasn't worth just its factories. And Strategy isn't just a Bitcoin ETF. It can raise capital at near zero rates. It amplifies Bitcoin upside through leverage. It operates as the institutional gateway to Bitcoin. Premiums exist because potential is priced in. If you deny that, you deny how markets function. Strategy isn't an anomaly. It's the blueprint. Tesla trades at a 9 MNAV. Palantir trades at a 31 MNAV. Companies that aren't on the cutting edge don't trade at the same multiple because the marketplace doesn't price in the same level of potential. Johnson & Johnson trades barely above a 2 MNAV. McDonald's trades at 4 to 5. But you have a problem when MSTR trades at anything over a 1. Do you get it yet? And Stack Hodler is going to take us home with some just great content per usual. Bitcoin is down 20K from the local top. In 2017, we peaked at 20K and people were losing their minds. A mere 8 years later and a brutal crash has only taken us to 88K. Perspective. If you're buying this dip, you're buying alongside Citadel, Barclays, Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Funds, and other big players who understand that the Bitcoin story is just the beginning. Bitcoin is the biggest opportunity in finance. All of these institutions are dreaming of the fees they're going to make on hodling and lending against Bitcoin. And you better believe that they're taking full advantage of the current fear. That doesn't mean you should expect an instant bounce back to 100K plus. Last year, we spent 7 months grinding downwards before launching, so we could easily repeat that. But as usual, the best thing to do is to stay solvent, zoom out, and enjoy life. Personally, I'm enjoying a nice flat white this AM with some deep work and I'm a piano. Then 9 holes of golf and some paddle with buddies this afternoon. If there was a book called The Art of the Hodl, the chapter on crashes would tell you that there's an opportunity to touch grass and reconnect with the most important things in life while the dust settles. Deep breaths. And now Michael Saylor breaking down rule number 11 of Bitcoin. Michael, take it away.
Rule number 11, Bitcoin insight, it's restricted to those with a need to know. You look at Bitcoin, you don't understand it. Charlie Munger doesn't understand it. Warren Buffett doesn't understand it. The bankers don't understand it. The rich people that you hate don't understand it. They don't need to know. That's why they can't see it, right? When you're comfortable and you live in the Western world and everything looks just fine to you and your cousin works at the bank, you don't have a need to know. When you have a need to know and your world comes crashing down, when you're looking at imminent death, when you're looking over the edge of the abyss, then you will understand and you will see Bitcoin for what it is. So don't be shocked when people look at it and they don't get it. They don't have a need to know.
And there you have it, another episode of Strategy Today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please show some love by commenting below, by clicking that little like button, that little thumbs up button. It really does mean a lot. And I am hoping what you're seeing on the screen right now turns out to be the best purchase of 2025 for me. We'll see. Only time will tell. But I swooped in at $248 per share yesterday, spent $210 to acquire 0.848 share of MSTR. Who knows what the future is going to bring? I am unbelievably bullish long-term, as I know most of you know, but this short-term volatility is exactly what Michael Saylor designed. Bitcoin is incredibly volatile and MSTR is volatility stacked on that volatility. So that's why it's so important that you surround yourself with the 5 people that really keep you just alive, keep you grounded, keep you just measured and taking a deep breath of reality in this time, because there's a lot of FUD out there. There's a lot of things that are going on in this world and the macro and the micro environments all over the place. So curate your 5 very carefully. And as Michael Saylor said, remember, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.